If you've read my blog entry titled A New Level of Shop Storage, you may be familiar with this storage loft and the 2x4 ladder that I have in my shop. Adding this ladder to the storage loft really helped make this storage more convenient, but there are a couple of frustrations I have with it. It's very vertical, so it can be kind of tricky to climb, especially if you have something in your hands. Additionally, it's stationary and can occasionally be in the way of my miter saw stand for longer stock. The miter saw stand does roll, but it's heavy and not always the most convenient to slide out if I need to hang a piece off the edge of the stand. To address these issues, today I'm going to be installing a rolling utility ladder with a kit that's available from Rockler. For my particular setup, I'm going to install a track along the entire length of the 2x4 that makes up the frame and support of the storage loft. This will give me a lot of flexibility for placing the ladder, whether that might be anywhere along the side of the loft itself, or even over in front of the door if I need it completely out of the way. With the location of the install in mind, we can go to the Rockler ladder wizard to determine what parts we'll need. The wizard makes getting all of your parts together very easy. First, we need to decide on the ladder style. For the shop, the utility ladder is a great choice, but as you can see, they offer some really attractive options for bookcases and other interior applications. Once we've selected the ladder style, we need to pick the length. You can see there are a couple of relevant measurements here: the length of the ladder itself and the height of the track off the floor. Given that the ladder is on a slight angle, these lengths are different. For my application, the 8-foot ladder is appropriate, but making a longer ladder is very easy, and the wizard will tailor your parts list and plan for this. Now, we'll see options for a few accessories for the kit you've selected. For the utility ladder, there's a single style of track bracket already selected. We just need to specify the length of track we need. Track comes in 6-foot lengths, so if you need something longer than 6 feet and less than 12 feet, as I did, you need to get 2 6-foot sections and cut them down. Finally, we have end caps. I'm going to put one end of my track right up to the wall, so I only have one exposed end. The cap doesn't just make the end of the track look a little nicer, it also keeps the ladder from rolling off the end of the track, so it is a very important piece. Rockler provides optional wood kits for the size of ladder you've selected. You can definitely supply and cut your own, or you can get their kit for a clean and quick solution. Once you've selected all your options, you get a nice summary of the parts you need to order, including SKUs and quantity. The wizard really takes the guesswork out of getting the materials you need for your ladder, and makes it really simple. Now with the parts in hand, let's take a look at what we have. The main kit consists mostly of steps and related hardware. For the 8-foot ladder, you'll get 7 of these steps. For taller ladders, you can get additional steps on their own, and the ladder wizard will tell you how many of those you need. You'll get 2 of these roller bracket assemblies, which keep the ladder on the track and allow it to travel. You also get 2 of these rubber feet to keep the ladder stationary while you're on it. Each step will have 2 metal tubes bolted underneath for extra strength. Finally, of course, we have all the nuts and bolts we need to put this together. I got the wood kit from Rockler for my ladder, so some of the work is already done for me. If you're using your own lumber, you need to drill holes for the steps and make a couple of cuts to get the ends angled properly. That's all laid out very well in the instructions. All I need to do here is measure up and in from my top step to mark the location of a 3/4 inch hole that we're going to use to secure a wooden spindle that sits at the very top of the ladder. With that location marked and a 3/4 inch Forstner bit in the drill press, we can put those holes in place on both pieces at the same time very easily. We have 2 more small holes to make, this time with a 1/4 inch Forstner bit. These will be used to secure the roller bracket assemblies to the top of the ladder. The roller brackets slide right over the edge of the wood. Then we just drop the bolts in and secure with the nuts provided. Make sure you do this with the wheel portion of the bracket facing up. The spindle installs very easily. We just apply a little tight bond to the shoulder and set it in the hole we drilled earlier. This assembly process works best if you can set the entire unit up on a bench or table. Each step requires 2 of these tubes to be installed underneath. They're a snug fit, just line them up with the holes on each side of the step. Take one of these and thread it onto the end of the supplied rod, then drop the whole thing through one of the step holes. Do that for the other hole as well. The rods will then drop through the step and the tubes inside of it and into the matching holes on the other piece of wood. The first couple steps are a little precarious. If you're doing this by yourself, it's easiest to get the spindle in place, then do the first step at the opposite end of the ladder so that it supports the whole length. Once you have one done, repeat that same process for the rest of the steps, and just partially tighten the nuts on both sides. We'll finish tightening everything else when it's all in place. Center the feet on the bottom of the legs, and then drill the bolt holes. I'm just going to drill these in place. The feet bolt in just like the roller brackets. Now for the track. As we found earlier, when we were looking at the ladder wizard, the track comes in 6-foot sections. I have just over 9 feet of total length that I need to cover, so I have 2 6-foot sections that I'll use. The instructions say for best results to evenly cut the pieces. I'll be cutting each one of mine to about 4 feet 7 inches. The track is pretty heavy, but with a good hacksaw blade it cuts easily. The track connector is very simple. We just slide it onto the end of the track. You can see the piece will only go in one way, with the raised portion sliding into the slot in the back of the track. Then you simply tighten down the set screws to secure it in place. I'm going to put up the first bracket in the corner, which will give me some support on that end. Then I can slide the rest of the brackets in the slot in the back of the track and mount them in place. The instructions recommend spacing the brackets every 32 to 36 inches apart. With the track up, we can set the ladder in place and tighten everything the rest of the way. You can see the ladder slides very easily, and it makes it really easy to open up this space and get the ladder out of the way if I need to. I can even open the closet door enough to get through it without moving the ladder, so it can pretty much stay in that corner most of the time. This actually opened up some additional storage options for me. I may end up hanging some infrequently used items on the open wall space above the closet door, which previously would have been really inconvenient to get to. So that's all there is to it. Rockler's Ladder Wizard and Hardware Kit make putting together one of these ladders a snap. Whether it's for your garage or shop storage, or a nice decorative bookcase, these ladders really take storage to the next level. Thanks for watching.